Yanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Pradalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankaja Nabhaya Namaha Pankaja Maline Namaha Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajangriye Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you again for joining. We are moving on to chapter 23, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8. The demigods regain the heavenly planets. So, we stopped at a point in the last chapter that in the Sutala-loka, the Lord decided that I will protect, and Bali Maharaj and party was sent to Sutala-loka, which was much, much better than the so-called heavenly planets. Not because it has more material opulence, but the Lord is there. That's the real benediction. Not because it has more 5-star facilities. But it has the Supreme Lord is present to protect his devotees. So let's read the summary of this chapter and then we'll see if we can cover a few verses. Okay, Swati Mataji, you want to read? Okay, Lakshmi Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
please.
The demigods regain the heavenly planets. This chapter describes how Bali Maharaj, along with his grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, entered the planet Sutala and how the Supreme Personality of Godhead allowed Indra to re-enter the heavenly planet. The great soul Bali Maharaj experienced that the highest gain in life is to attain devotional service under the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet in full surrender. Being fixed in this conclusion, his heart full of ecstatic devotion and his eyes full of tears, he offered obeisances to the personality of Godhead, and then with his associates entered the planet known as Sutala. Thus the Supreme Personality of Godhead satisfied the desire of Aditi and reinstalled Lord Indra. Prahlad Maharaj, being aware of Bali's release from arrest, then described the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this material world. Prahlad Maharaj praised the Supreme Lord for creating the material world, for creating this material world, for being equal to everyone, and for being extremely liberal to the devotees, just like a desire tree. Indeed, Prahlad Maharaj said that the Lord is kind not only to his devotees, but also to the demons. In this way, he described the unlimited causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then, with folded hands, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the Lord, and after circumambulating the Lord, he also entered the planet Sutala in accordance with the Lord's order. The Lord then ordered Shukracharya to describe Bali Maharaj's fault and discrepancies in executing the sacrificial ceremony. Shukracharya became free from the fruitive actions by chanting the holy names of the Lord, and he explained how chanting can diminish all the faults of the conditioned soul. He then completed Bali Maharaj's sacrificial ceremony. All the great saintly person accepted Lord Vaman Dev as the benefactor of Lord Indra because he had returned Indra to his heavenly planet. They accepted the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the maintainer of all the affairs of the universe. Being very happy, Indra, along with his associates, placed Vamanadev before him and re-entered the heavenly planet in their airplane. Having seen the wonderful activities of Lord Vishnu in the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj, all the demigods, saintly persons, Pitas, Bhutas, and Siddhas glorified the Lord again and again. The chapter concludes by saying that the most auspicious function of the conditioned soul is to chant and hear about the glorious activities of Lord Vishnu. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Very, very nice chapter with a lot of nice lessons. The real gain, the highest gain, is the devotional service and the shelter of the Supreme Lord. And also there are glories of the holy name, that it can diminish all the faults of the conditioned souls. We read that also. It can diminish all the faults of the conditioned souls. So we'll be seeing all these verses. So let's get started with the first one. Yes, Akshay, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 1. Sri Sukha Uvacha Iti Yuktavantam Purusham Purattanam Mahan Ubhavel Akhila Sadhu Samata Badhan Jalil Baspa Kalakku Leksana Bhaktya Utkalo Gadgadaya Giribravat. Translation. Sukadev Goswami said, when the Supreme Ancient Internal Personality of Godhead had thus spoken to Bali Maharaj, who is universally accepted as a pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore a great soul, Bali Maharaj, his eyes filled with tears, his hands folded, and his voice faltering in devotional ecstasy, responded as follows. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Lakshay Prabhu. I must say that Lakshay Prabhu has a lot of love towards Bhagavatam. It's not easy to even sit for Bhagavatam class, what to speak for a 8-9-year-old. Do every day, and it's certainly not easy. So what to speak of a 9-year-old for even the adults is not easy. So Lakshay Prabhu, you're very, very sincere, great inspiration and example. I'm so grateful for your association and your example. Thank you for regularly joining and reading and participating. You're the beacon light for tomorrow. Thank you.
And he wins all the quizzes. It's so hard to beat him.
Yes, because he studies, he does a lot of preparation. Thank you. So, Bali Maharaj's humility and gratitude is shared in these first few verses. Srila Shukadev Goswami is speaking here. Look at the emotions shared. He was accepted as a pure devotee of the Lord. Bali Maharaj's eyes filled with tears and hands folded. Badanjali, Anjali is the hand folded. His voice faltering in devotional ecstasy responded as follows. These are the symptoms of the great ecstasy, the great humility, the great gratitude. He's not lamenting, he's not grudging, he's not complaining about the situation. Very, very happy, grateful, full of mood of acceptance, love, devotion. Let's see what he speaks in this verse. Yes, Lakshmi Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. And Hare Krishna, all devotees. Text 2. Shri Balir Uvacha. Aho pranamaya krita samudyama. Prapana bhakta rata vidau samahitaha. Yallokapalaistvad anugraho marir. Alabda purvo apashade ashura arpitaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Bali Maharaj said, "What a wonderful effect there is in even attempting to offer respectful obeisances to you. I merely endeavored to offer you obeisances, but nonetheless the attempt was as successful as those of pure devotees. The causeless mercy you have shown to me, a fallen demon, was never achieved even by the demigods or the leaders of the various planets." Purport. When Vaman Dev appeared before Bali Maharaj immediately wanted to offer him respectful obeisances, but he was unable to do so because of the presence of Sukracharya and other demonic associates. The Lord is so merciful, however, that although Bali Maharaj did not actually offer obeisances, but only endeavored to do so within his mind, the Supreme Personality of Godhead blessed him with more mercy than even the demigods would ever expect. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Swalpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. Even a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as bhava-grahi janardhana because it takes only the essence of a devotee's attitude. If a devotee sincerely surrenders, the Lord, as the super soul in everyone's heart, immediately understands this. Thus, even though externally a devotee may not render full service, if he is internally sincere and serious, the Lord welcomes his service nonetheless. Thus, the Lord is known as bhava-grahi janardhana because he takes the essence of one's devotional mentality. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Vibhu, you want to share something, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So from the purport, I can understand that Bali Maharaj was he was actually wishing to give us respectful obeisances, but because Sukracharya and other demon associates were there, he did not do that. But God is so merciful. Even though the small thoughts in our mind, they say that is what God sees. Other than the things we offer or whatever we do, our intention is what Lord Krishna sees. And he says he's bhava-grahi janardhana. That when a devotee sincerely surrenders, because he's super soul, so he can know our intention and he accepts us. That is what helps us, Prabhuji, because like me, as such a fallen soul, the intention of doing something to God is what God is accepting. And we are very grateful to God for that, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. In the material world, will someone see, oh, I wanted to give you something really nice, but I couldn't because of external situations. Guess what will that person say? Right? They won't be happy. Whether you tell your boss or neighbor or someone's birthday is there, oh, I wanted to, that person is expecting a nice gift. Oh, I wanted to get a nice gift, but due to external reasons, whatever, I couldn't get it for you. They won't be happy about it. Or You just give them one banana. I got this very nice banana for you with a lot of love and devotion. They'll say you keep your banana with you only, you eat it, right? But here, aho pranamaya kritah samudyamah. Udyam, little endeavor. Udyam means to endeavor. He just endeavored to do pranam. He didn't do pranam because of external situations. Sometimes there are a lot of external situations where we cannot do full service. For example, if someone is in a hospital bed, they cannot do, a lot of things which a regular devotee may be able to do. Someone due to health situations may not be able to do things which the regular devotee may be able to do. Someone due to financial constraints may not be able to do what he may want to do from heart, or someone sometimes due to family situations, one may not be able to do what he or she really wants to do for the pleasure of the Lord. But the Lord sees the intent. Here, very, very nice example that due to external situations, he couldn't do that act physically. But in the heart, Lord understands the heart. The Lord understood his heart, which was full of love, full of pure devotion, and rewarded him very, very nicely. Not the material reward, but the reward of pure bhakti. So, Krishna sees the intention. The material world sees the outside content. In the material world, the value of the gift is seen. Whether it is with zero intention, with like someone gives out of some envy, or someone gives out of some hatred or duplicity, whatever. But Krishna, we have already read that recently in the previous chapter, that Krishna does not accept duplicity. दुर्योधन को छप्पन भोग न खायो, रूख शाख विदुरगर खायो, ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी राधे श्याम श्याम श्याम. Krishna is prema pujari, is bhakta vatsala, is bhava-grahi. He sees the intention behind the offering. The offering, whether it is fruits, flowers, gold, silver, donation, any ingredient, it's just a medium to convey our devotion. That does not mean we should not offer all those things. Yes, we should certainly offer all those things, but without duplicity and with a lot of love and devotion. And sometimes there are external situations one may not be able to do the actual act, like Bali Maharaj not offer full pranams like the Dandavat pranam, but the Lord will understand that. Very nice and practical. That does not mean that we should excuse, okay, Lord will understand, Lord. It's important. I mean, we are not in an environment where if we bow down, then demons will torture us. Don't dare not bow down. There are countries where devotees cannot put dhoti, kurta, tilak or chant in the streets. But by Krishna's mercy, of course now it's locked down, but Krishna's mercy, we're not in that country. So when we are not in that situation, we should do that. But if we are in such a situation where we can't do that, that's understandable. Any other comments, additions anyone has? Okay, one more verse and then we will pause. Someone who has not yet read any verse today wants to read? Yes, Punah Mataji. Kashish Mataji, you want to read?
No, Prabhuji, let Puna Mataji read. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Text 3. Shri Sukha Ityu Katva Harimanatya Brahmanam Savatvam Tatam Vivesa Sutalam Prito Bali Murta Sahasurai. Translation by His Divine Grace Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai. Sukadev Goswami continued,
After speaking in this way, Bali Maharaj offered his obeisances first to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, and then to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Thus, he was released from the bondage of the nagapasa, the ropes of Varuna, and in full satisfaction, he entered the planet known as Sutala. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. I was just thinking in the last chapter, text 36, Lord Krishna says that because of my prowess there, the anxiety of adopting a demonic mentality from your association with the demons will be vanquished. So he had a bad association actually, right? We all know that. He was not so much, his mind was not so influenced because of his internal devotion, but certainly his activities were limited. Kind of just think about Vibhishana in Ravana's kind of kingdom. When Hanuman meets Vibhishana and he asks, right, they are like two devotees meeting. He says, how are you? How are things going? He says, Vibhishana then says a very nice thing. Not a nice thing, but a nice way to express his miserable situation actually. He says, oh Hanuman, you're asking me how am I? I'm like the tongue between the 32 teeth. Any moment I can be cut. So all the 32 teeth represent the demoniac forces are like up and down, side, left and right. They're surrounded by the demons. No one talks about Kṛṣṇa there. And perhaps that was the same situation in the Bali Maharaj so-called kingdom. All the other demoniac people, except for Bali and his wife, they were all demoniac forces. Even the Guru was telling not to surrender to Kṛṣṇa. Even the associates, when the Lord captured, they were trying to attack the Lord. They were also not devotees. And as a result, he could not, because of his kingly position, could not offer the full obeisance. But now he's free. He is in his home ground, natural position. In the story of Indra and this Gajendra story, Prabhupada mentioned that when one is in natural position, one has the home ground advantage. That Vyagra or the crocodile was in natural position, so he was gaining strength. So when we are outside in the non-devotee environment, we are not in our natural position. We should feel uncomfortable. Oh, I'm vulnerable here. But when we are in devotee association, when we are in sadhu sangha, when we are in temple, nice festival, kirtan, Kṛṣṇa katha, nice wonderful environment, that's our home ground advantage. We gain strength there. In the outside world, our strength is reduced. Like Gajendra, not in his home ground, in water his strength was reducing. But now he is in a very favorable environment and he offers full prostrated obeisance, which he couldn't do before. And then he offered obeisance to other devotees also, like Brahma, Shiva, etc. And when one takes shelter of Kṛṣṇa, then what can any pasha, right? We read that in the bhajan today morning also. All the pashas, even the nagapasa, indrapasa, yamapasa, all the pashas will be destroyed when you take shelter of Kṛṣṇa. So all the ropes were opened and in full satisfaction entered the planet of Sutaloka. So any other comments, any additions, thoughts? Okay, so we will pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.